Mark Davis and the Prestige Quintet there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the performance, guys. Wonderful performance. Performing their song 4 from their record Blue Haze. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. Very talented musicians, and yeah, we wish them all the best with their career, and to Miles as well with the surgery on his larynx next week. Yeah, good luck with that, Miles. Right then, folks, what a show we have for you tonight. What a show. Yeah, it's guest time now, folks. You guessed it. And heck, we've been on about it all week, so you know it's coming. The time's there, finally. Yeah. Having finished 2 Oscar-nominated productions, and well on the way to wrapping up the third, no doubt. All at just the tender age of 24. He's a man many people have been dazzled by due to his presence on screen, but few have had the pleasure of meeting off. This is probably, quite simply, the most anticipated interview in television history. And you are all about to meet him right now. So please, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the hottest actor in the world right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Dean. James Dean, ladies and gentlemen. I have to say, Mr. Dean, I have never heard a reaction quite like that before on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. We all know how busy you are. Thank you for giving us your time.
Well, yeah, it's...
James, Mr. Dean, the mic on the table. Feel free to use that. It might help. Yeah, you're welcome, that's right. Everyone else can, you know,
well, yeah, so, but basically, yeah, it's nice to, you know, be here, and, you know, I'm happy to be here, and you've got a lovely audience, and, you know, they gave me a nice ovation. So.
Right, you're very welcome, Mr. Dean, don't worry. Actually, he's so polite, ladies and gentlemen, I assumed he was a rebel. I'm sorry. I merely jest, Mr. Dean. I merely jest. I do apologize.
It's okay, Steve. It's your show. You can say whatever you want.
I guess I should probably start interviewing you about now. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Sorry. I jest. I merely jest.
I've got James Dean on the show here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm dangerously close to running out of time of interviewing him. So, no, you mind, Mr. Dean, if we get this thing rolling now? I've got people in my ear screaming. I mean, we're running out of time here.
Yeah, sure thing, Steve. Fire away.
Okay, well, fantastic. What a brilliant sport, eh? What a brilliant sport. Right then, Mr. Dean, Before you came out, I briefly mentioned it. You've been already nominated in 2 Academy productions, and you're well on track to being in a 3rd. I'm sure, no doubt. Just at the tender age of a young 24 years of age, and you've many years ahead of you, I'm sure, with many more productions, and already people are hailing you as a great, a modern great in cinema now of our time. How do you respond to such claims?
How do you think anyone would respond to, you know, something like that? It's I mean, you know, I love it. Of course, it's amazing. It's incredible having, you know, this opportunity, and, you know, something, you know, doing something I love so much, and not sucking at it. You know, it's I mean, you know, of course, it's you know, relatively speaking, it adds a lot of pressure, people saying things like that, but of course you just got to get on with it, and it's the job. So it's if people if people are going to keep watching, then I'll keep doing it.
Oh, people are definitely going to keep seeing you, Mr. Dean, I'm sure. Ain't that right, folks, eh? Yeah. Well, in reality, we barely know anything about the man, James Dean, as such. And we love you, obviously. Of course, we love you, and we have a great deal of that we don't know about you in terms of that. We haven't seen much of you off screen in interviews and stuff like that. And so we've only ever seen the tiny snippets of you on screen. So tell us, what do you enjoy doing outside of your work?
Well, if you mean broadly, I like fast cars, beaches, pretty girls. I like hot weather, basketball, a little bit of bullfighting, and yeah, I like the bongo drums as well.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm not kidding. I love the bongo drums. But if you mean specifically, I'd say I love time to myself. I love New York, and it's got a great atmosphere, and I love LA too, and I love the weather out there, and and I like the quiet time to myself sometimes. But when I was back in New York, I used to go to the theater like 3 times a day, and I get bored quite a lot though. So if I get bored of acting, then I guess I'll move on to directing.
Well, don't do that too quick right now. We don't miss you on screen too much, I think, Mr. Dean. Okay, what have we got here? You touched on it briefly there, Mr. Dean, about your passion for fast cars, and you've been accused of driving too fast on the roads as well as the racetrack. Tell us a little more about that.
Well, Steve, my passion for racing started, when I was very young. I had a reverend who took me to my first ever, my first ever 500, my Indy 500.
Indy 500.
Yeah, that's it. As a boy, and
I've been to a few myself.
and I loved it ever since, and it's something that's always been a great passion of mine. I'd rather much be on the track than on the roads. On the roads you can't judge what people are going to do, and whereas on the track you can. I'm not one of those that's going to go out on the road and do something that I shouldn't do. And to be honest, I don't think I'm going to live much past 30. But it's one of those. But it's dangerous, and I know it is. But what's a better way to go? It's better to what's a better way to die? It's fast and clean, and you go. In a blaze of glory. So.
Okay. Wow. Well, powerful stuff there, Mr. Dean. Powerful stuff. Well, folks, if you're just joining us now, no doubt you've been watching from the beginning. But in case anyone is just tuning in now, do not adjust your television sets. No, that really is the man himself, just sat there. That is Mr. James Dean. Well, Mr. Dean, so let's hark back to your first feature-length movie, East of Eden. Your first film, first major role in motion picture. A massive, huge box office success. You must have thoroughly enjoyed that whole experience.
Yeah, I mean, Eden was great, of course. It was one of the first. It was my first ever feature, and I wouldn't be the person that I've become today without that. You know, I'm a very different person now to what I used to be. I sometimes would have to sleep in my car because I wouldn't have the money to you know, pay for rent or pay for food or anything like that. So I'd just like to say, if I may, a special thank you to you know, Mr. Jerry Lucci. He runs a bar called Jerry's Bar, and it's you know, in Manhattan on 6th Avenue. So I'd just like to say thank you to Jerry for that. He helped me out, you know, at the toughest of times. He gave me food when I needed it, and yeah, just looked after me when he could. That was when I was, you know, looking for television work in, you know, in New York. But yeah, it's Eden, you know, it'll always have a special place in my heart, and it's I had a great director to work with as well on that. So
wow, incredible stuff there, Mr. Dean. Okay, well, so next up we have Rebel Without a Cause now. Your next feature, which I believe is being released next week. Is it next week? Yeah. Oh, it's a highly anticipated film, and I myself, like many others, I'm sure, we're all looking forward to watching it. It's being hailed as an iconic piece of cinema, and please tell us about the film.
wow. I play a character called Jim Stark. His mother and father, we moved to LA, and Jim, being only 17, he has to go back to school, and you know, it's about how he copes with that, and going back to the school part was, you know, real fun for me. So
well, I'm sure for educational purposes, of course.
Oh, of course. No. The film deals with, you know, real life issues, father and son relationships, and the differences of, you know, the youth today and compared to the, you know, the more traditional older approach. It's exciting. It's got car races, guys fighting. It's got girls, but I also found it to be very moving to make. You know, it's I'm very proud of it. And Nicholas Ray, and the director, oh, he's incredible. You know, there's no other word for him. It's just incredible. And you know, he had a great directing vision, and he actively, you know, encouraged me to express, you know, myself. And through that character, and you know, asked me to kind of put you know, a lot of my own things into the character as well. So I got to let a little bit of my wild side out that time as well. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so you know, it's exciting, and I can't wait for you all to see it. So.
Well, fantastic, and we're all very much looking forward to that one indeed. And then in terms of future projects, you've already got another piece of work in the pipeline. Your next feature, I believe it's called Giant, is that right? And it's coming out this time next year. Yep. How's that all going for you?
Yeah, it's going along just fine. So.
So far, yeah, we've heard things aren't always the smoothest on set as such. we may have even heard almost 7 hours late to a read-through just earlier today. Can't you speak about that, Mr. D?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not one to talk down about a director, but you know, I know it's a hard job, and I know you know, how much effort and time, you know, it takes up. But yeah, I mean, George Stevens, after all, he's a fantastic director, and you know, I'm privileged to work with him, and I have occasionally been late once or twice. But you know, he should see, you know, how hard it is, though, you know, getting up at 5 in the morning when you go to bed at 2. So you know, it's rather difficult.
Yeah, so it's his fault, obviously, isn't it? He doesn't realize how hard a lifestyle you've got.
He's got no idea.
And you've also been banned from racing as well, Mr. D?
Yeah, and I've been banned from racing. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's certain things are made, a certain way, and that's fine with me. I still think that it's gonna be a great film. So
Oh, well, no doubt it will be, and no doubt it will be. Okay, what have we got here? But yes, anyway, moving on. There is something I would like to ask you about. Are you quite a stressful person, Mr. Dean? Like, how do you deal with all this pressure? After all, you are James Dean, of course.
yeah, I guess you mean with the chicks. I'm just joking. No, I mean, no, it's not really a question of coping. It's something that I've chosen to do, and it's something that I guess I have to deal with everything else that comes with that. And at the end of the day, I do what I love, so I'm happy that everyone is supporting me whilst I'm doing that. For a while I suffered from insomnia, and I don't think it relates to the acting, but I think the acting helps because I get to escape into another person. So I feel like I can kind of hide behind that person sometimes. And then the racing also helps as well, because that just when I'm out on the road, it's just everything just goes. So it's nice. So everything's great, and I couldn't ask for anything more really.
So, is it a form of escapism, would you say then, Mr. Dean? Do you physically enjoy acting, pretending to be someone else, and are you happier doing this than what you were doing and being the man you were before?
Yeah, I think I think acting is my life. It's it's something that is I've been doing for so long, and it's something that I hope to keep doing. And I can't remember a time when I wasn't acting. I've always wanted to do it, and I've always been doing it. And for me, it's not going to be any other way, and I don't ever want to go back to the person that I was. It's it's got too comfy now, and it's too easy for me. I think it's easier to get inside someone else's head, and it's easy to be someone else instead of yourself sometimes. And sometimes if you want to be that character, you've got to completely engross yourself in them. So I think unless you truly believe that you're that person, you can actually become that person. So portraying them, I think you've got to really get inside their head.